For half-angle formulas. We are giving you the tangent of u is -5/8, and the angle falls between 3 pi over 2 and 2 pi, so in the fourth quadrant. And we want to find the exact value of the sine of u over 2, so the half angle. So we're going to start with the tangent of u equals -5/8. And if we remember right triangle trig, tangent represents opposite over adjacent. So we're going to create a right triangle in the fourth quadrant. So here is 3 pi over 2. Here is 2 pi. This angle of u must fall in the fourth quadrant. So I'm going to create a right triangle. Here is my u. This is my x distance, which is my adjacent to u. This is my y distance, which is my opposite to u. And this is my r, which is my radius, which is your hypotenuse in right triangle. All right, so we're going to take this -5, and that is your y value. This 8 is your adjacent, which is your x value. So my x value is 8. My y value is -5. I don't know what my r is, so let's go and find that next. So I'm going to use Pythagorean theorem. X squared plus y squared equals r squared. So 8 times 8 is 64. -5 times -5 is +25 equals r squared. And we add those two numbers together. 64 plus 25 is 89. And we're going to square root both sides. Don't worry about the negative because you can't have a negative radius. So now my r value I can identify as the square root of 89, your radius. All right, now using our right triangle trig, we're going to find the sine of this angle. Remember, sine represents opposite, so over the hypotenuse. So the opposite is -5. The hypotenuse is square root of 89. Have to rationalize it, so I multiply the numerator and the denominator by the square root of 89, and I get 9, or the square root of 5, or -5 square root of 89 over 89. Now let's find the cosine. Cosine represents the adjacent over the hypotenuse. Adjacent is 8. The hypotenuse is square root of 89. So we'll rationalize it again. All right, now we have the sine, cosine, and tangent of this angle. What we want to find is the sine of u over 2, the half angle. So we have to choose the appropriate formula. So we're going to choose this formula right here. Talk about the sine. Anything in this fourth quadrant, the sine has to be a negative. So if we look at this formula, we say negative and then square root. So the sine of u over 2 equals negative square root of 1 minus the cosine of u over 2. All right, here is our cosine up here. We're going to use that in our formula right there. So we're subbing in 8 square roots of 89 over 89 all over 2. All right, we have some simplifying to do. Let me give myself some more room here. I'm going to change that 1 to 89 over 89 minus 8 square roots of 89 over 89 all over 2. Combine the two fractions together in the numerator. 89 minus 8 squares of 89 over 89 all over 2. Now we're going to go ahead and flip that denominator of 2 to 1/2 so that you can multiply across. You get 89 minus 8 squares of 89 over 4. And just like we've done before, you can separate that radical out into two radicals. So 89 minus 8 squares of 89 all over 2, because a square root of 4 is 2. There's your exact value.